her. If you know how to dance, you should show her. Kick 6 strings in a head full of curls. Just your average, not very average girl. I've seen you move every mountain, and I've seen you calm every storm. I've seen the dead come to life, tombstones rolled to the side, and the broken restored. Every promise that you've given me, I believe it's true. And I have never seen you feel something that you told me you would do. Every promise that you've given me, I believe it's true. I have never seen you feel something that you told me you would do. And I've seen you move every mountain. I've seen you calm every storm. I've seen the dead come alive, tombstones rolled to the side, and the broken restored. Every promise that you've given me, I believe it's true. And I have never seen you feel something that you told me you would do. Every promise that you've given me, I believe it's true. I ain't never seen you feel something that you told me you would do. I've seen you move every mountain. I've seen you calm every storm. I've seen the dead come alive, tombstones rolled to the side, and the broken restored. Every promise that you've given me, I believe it's true. I have never seen you feel something that you told me you would do. Every promise that you've given me, oh, I believe it's true. I've never seen you feel something that you told me you would do. 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 Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are back in the Proverbs. If you are new, hi, I'm Jezelle. I like singing about Jesus because he's great. And if you are not new, welcome back to my channel, y'all. It's good to see you again. We are in Proverbs chapter 27, and I'm reading out of the Modern English Version. Here we go. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not. Chapter 27, verse 1. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise you, not your own mouth, a stranger, not your own lips. A stone is heavy, and the sand is weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel, and anger outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. The fool's soul loathes the honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. As a bird that wanders from her nest, so is a man who wanders from his place. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, so does the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Do not forsake your own friend, or your father's friend, nor go into your brother's house in the day of your calamity. For better is a neighbor who is near than a brother far off. My son, be wise and make my heart glad, that I may answer him who reproaches me. A prudent man foresees the evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Take his garment, that is security for a stranger, and take a pledge for him of him for an adulterous woman. He who blesses his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it will be counted a curse to him. A continual dripping on a very rainy day is like a contentious woman, and a contentious woman are alike. Whoever restrains her restrains the wind, and grasps oil in his right hand. Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Whoever keeps the fig tree will eat its fruit, so he who waits on his master will be honored. As in water face answers to face, so the heart of a man to man. Death and destruction are never full, so the eyes of a man are never satisfied. As the refining pot for silver in the furnace of gold, so is a man to his praise. Though you should grind a fool in mortar, and among wheat with a pestle, yet his foolishness will not depart from him. Be diligent to know the state of your flocks, and look well to your herds. For riches are not forever, nor does the crown endure to every generation. The hay appears, and the tender grass shows itself, and the herbs of the mountains are gathered. The lambs are for your clothing, and the goats are the price of the field. You will have goat's milk enough for your food, for the food of your household, and for the maintenance of your maidens. Chapter 28. The wicked flee when no man pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. Because of the transgression of the land, many are in its princes, but by a man of understanding and knowledge it shall be prolonged. A poor man who oppresses the poor is like a sweeping rain that leaves no food. Those who forsake instruction praise the wicked, but such as keep instruction contend with them. Evil men do not understand justice, but those who seek the Lord understand all things. Better is the poor who walks in his uprightness than he who is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. Whoever keeps the law is a wise son, but he who is a companion of riotous shames his father. Of riotous men shames his father. He who by usury and unjust gain increases his substance will gather it for him who will pity the poor. He who turns away his ear from hearing instruction, even his prayer will be an abomination. Whoever causes the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he himself will fall into his own pit, but the upright will have good things in possession. The rich man in his own wise conceit. The rich man is wise in his own conceit, but the poor who has understanding searches him out. When righteous men rejoice, there is a great glory, but when the wicked rise, a man hides himself. He who covers his sins will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. Happy is the man who always fears, but he who hardens his heart will fall into mischief. As a roaring lion and a charging bear, so is a wicked ruler over poor people. The prince who lacks understanding is also a great oppressor, but he who hates covetousness will prolong his days. A man burdened with bloodshed of any person will flee until death, and let no man help him. Whoever walks uprightly will be saved, but he who is perverse in his ways will fall at once. He who tills his hand will have plenty of bread, but he who follows after vain things will have poverty enough. A faithful man will abound with blessings, but he who makes haste to be rich will not be innocent. To show partiality is not good, because of the morsel of bread that a man will transgress. He who hastens to be rich has an evil eye, and does not consider that poverty will come upon him. He who rebukes a man will find more favor afterward. Where is that from? Afterward? I don't. Anyway, then he who flatters with the tongue. Whoever robs his father or mother and says it is no transgression, the same is the companion of a destroyer. He who is proud of heart stirs up strife. He who puts his trust in the Lord will prosper. He who trusts in his own heart is a fool, and whoever walks wisely will be delivered. He who gives to the poor will not lack. He who hides his eyes will have many a curse. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. He who is often reproved, yet hardens his neck, will suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in the authority, we are on chapter 29 now, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people mourn. Whoever loves wisdom rejoices his father. rejoices his father, but he who keeps company with harlots spends his substance. The king establishes the land by judgment, but he who receives bribes overthrows it. A man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. In the transgression of an evil man there is a snare, but the righteous sing and rejoice. The righteous considers the cause of the poor, but the wicked regards not to know it. Scornful men bring a city into a into a snare, but wise men turn away wrath. If a wise man contends with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. A fool utters all his mind, and a wise man keeps it until afterwards. If a ruler listens to lies, all his servants are wicked. The poor and the deceitful man have this in common. The Lord gives light to the eyes of both. The king who faithfully judges the poor, his throne will be established forever. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings his mother to shame. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous will see their fall. Correct your son, and he will give you rest. Yes, he will give delight to your soul. Where there is no vision, people perish, but happy is he who keeps the teaching. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understands, he will not answer. Do you see a man who is hasty in his words? There is hope more for a fool than for him. He who delicately brings up a servant from a child will have him as a son in the end. An angry man stirs up strife, and a furious man abounds in transgression. A man's pride will bring him low, but honor will uphold his spirit. Whoever is partner with a thief hates his own soul. He hears the oath but tells nothing. The fear of the man is a snare. But whoever puts his trust in the Lord will be safe. Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment comes from the Lord. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he who is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. Chapter 13. The words of Agur the son of Jekah the oracle. The man declares to Ithiel and Ukal, surely I am more brutish than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom nor have the knowledge of the holy. Who has ascended up to heaven or descended? Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? What is the name of his son? If you know, every word of God is pure. He is a shield to those who put their trust in him. Do not add to his works, lest he reprove you, and you be found a liar. 2 things I have required of you. Do not deny me them before I die. Remove vanity and lies from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny you and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of God in vain. Do not accuse a servant to his master, lest he curse you and you be found guilty. There is a generation that curses their father and does not bless his mother. There is a generation that is pure in its own eyes, yet it is not washed from its filthiness. There is a generation, oh how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from the earth, and the needy from among men. The leech has 2 daughters, crying, give, give. There are 3 things that are never satisfied, indeed 4 that say never is enough. The grave, the bear, it is enough. Never say it is enough. The grave, the barren womb, and the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire never says it is enough. The eye that mocks his father and disobeys his mother, the ravens of the valley will pick it out, and the young eagles will eat it. There are 3 things which are too wonderful to me, indeed 4 which I do not understand. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of the serpent on a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a virgin. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I have done no wickedness. For 3 things the earth is disquieted, and 4 which it cannot bear. For a servant when he reigns, and a fool when he is filled with food. For a hateful woman when she is married, and a handmaid who is their mistress. is heir to her mistress. There are 4 things which are little upon the earth by exceeding wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their food in the summer, and the badgers are a feeble folk, and yet they make their houses in the rocks. The locusts have no king, yet they go forth, all of them, by bands. The spider takes hold with her hands and is in the king's palaces. There are 3 things which go well, indeed 4 are comely in going: a lion, which is the strongest among beasts and does not turn away for any, and a strutting rooster, a male goat, and also a king, against whom there is no rising up. If you have been foolish in lifting up yourself, and you have not, or if you have thought evil, put hand on your mouth. Surely the churning of milk brings forth butter, and the wringing of the nose brings forth blood. So the forcing of wrath brings forth strife. Chapter 31. The words of King Lemuel, an oracle that his mother taught him. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows? Do not give your strength to women, nor your ways to that which destroy kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law, and pervert the justice of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink to those who is ready to perish, and wine to those who are of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open your mouth for the speechless, and the cause of all such are appointed to destruction. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts in her, so that he will have no lack of gain. She will do him good and not evil. All the days of her life she seeks wool and flax, and works willing with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar, and she also rises while it is yet night, and gives food to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considers the field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands she plants a vineyard. She clothes herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good. Her candle does not go out by night. She lays her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretches out her hand to the poor, yet she reaches forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She makes herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes fine linen and sells it, and delivers sashes to the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing. She will rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the teaching of kindness. She looks well to the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, he praises her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. Give her the fruits of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Alright, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me on reading these chapters and checking out the song, and I will see you guys the next time I upload a video, which should be like next week. And I have some really cool plans coming up, so yeah. Bye.